Shield Hero's back, and that means the main character has been buffed. However, let me just say the boy Naofumi probably received the least amount of buffs out of everyone. His barrier got increased and his true art damage got increased. I mean, granted, they both got increased by a pretty hefty amount, but still, you know, I mean, it would have been nice to give him a little bit more GS. And also, I have a problem with Naofumi in Grand Summoners this time around. It was the same thing last time too, by the way. If you know Naofumi has two true weapons. He has a 5-star defense true weapon, and he has a 5-star heal true weapon. Well, this is all fine and dandy. It just means that, you know, he's a pretty high investment unit. His 5-star defense can be bought in the shop. As you see here, 20 rainbow gems. However, you may notice his 5-star heal is nowhere to be found. Because in order for you to get his 5-star heal, you have to summon it over here. And the crazy part is you can't get his 5-star defense from this crossover equipped summon. You can only get his 5-star heal, which is the true Shield of Rage. So instead of just spending another 20 rainbow gems, you have to summon it on this, and if worst case scenario, you will have to pity it, and it's just not worth it at that point. Naofumi is supposed to be a free unit to help new players, and the fact is that they tied one of his true weapons pretty much behind a paywall. I mean, granted, you can say the rainbow gems is a paywall too, but not necessarily. Worst thing that they've done with the entire crossover. So the boy Naofumi, what's his deal? He's actually the free unit you can obtain by just playing through the event. Not only can you just obtain him for free, you can also get his luck all the way up to 120, so you can max luck him, you can get the luck buff system going on him, and overall he's a great unit for new players. If you're brand new to the game, I highly encourage you to make sure that you farm him and get him up, because he's a really solid taunt tank just for you to have as a new player. Until you can get better options, Naofumi is going to be your best friend. So his first ability is the Shield Hero. This negates all allies damage taken for a total of 3,000 for the first 20 seconds of a quest, and during regular attacks you get damage taken 10% down for 2 seconds. He next has damage disabled level 2, just gives him more defense when negating damage. And then we have his actual kit. His skill recovers the HP based on the damage he takes, and he will not flinch for 12 seconds while using the skill. His art is his tanking ability. This increases everybody's damage by 25%, and you negate all damage for a total of 11,000. And then you have his true art, which is the Iron Maiden. This has a high chance of fainting the target. If the target faints, you ignore the enemy's defense by 100%, and you deal 55,000% dark damage physical to mainly the target. So whoever is in the Iron Maiden, that's who you'll do it to. If the target does not faint, you recover your own HP by 60%, and you increase your own art gauge by 100. As far as the equips you're going to be wanting to run on Naofumi, it's pretty simple. 5-star defense. If you have his true weapon, it's going to be best in slot for him. If you want to know what his true weapon does, this increases your defense, it reduces damage from enemies, and you also will heal based on the damage you receive. And when it's gifted by Naofumi, you get max HP 25% up, and you autofill your own art gauge by 1. As for the 5-star heal, if you have his other true weapon, that is going to be best in slot for him. If you don't have his other true weapon, something like Demonic Wicked Globe would be really good. Being a Devil Wings, Ultra Relic Empty Heart, or if you're using him mainly on a light team, the Light Relic Tin Cane will be really great as well. For your support, it's going to just be the go-tos, your Keons, your Arc Ignites, and your Finn Aloha shorts. Any of those and you're vibing. As far as the crest you're going to be wanting to run on Naofumi, since he actually does have a pretty hard-hitting true art now, you could opt in for more damage if you want to, but just know that that damage is locked behind, you know, fainting the target. But if you don't care about that, of course, you know, something like Attack Up, Promise the Funeral God would be great. Or if you want to go, you know, more into his tanking side, of course, defense up and equipment CT down. This is the two that I personally recommend, just because I feel like if you're using Naofumi, you're not going to really be using him for damage. He's more so going to be there for tanking specifically. Now we get into Naofumi's animations, which I'm pretty sure I've already rated these two. I think I've rated every single Shield Hero unit, but you know, I haven't seen them in a while, so why not show them off again? We have his attack skill, which is just the barrier that pops up. This actually doesn't deal any type of damage, but it does reduce the damage that he takes, and I think he also heals off of it. He has his skill, which, by the way, you know, while he's attacking like this is his normal attack. He's going to have reduced damage taken for like pretty much the entire duration of it. It says for 2 seconds, and that's about, I think, as long as this actually lasts. He has a skill. This actually is what heals him while he's using it. It's really great. And also, I mean, it looks pretty nice, right? His art is going to be the barrier that you put up. As you see here, it's just a barrier that moves forward. Fun story. Back in JP, whenever Naofumi first came out, I may be able to do it here. Let me see. Yeah, I can. Naofumi was able to spam his art like this, and you see how it has multiple barriers. these actually would stack with each other. It was a glitch in the game. It wasn't supposed to do this, and it made Naofumi one of the best tanks in the entire game on JP. I wish they would have kept it in because it was a very cool mechanic if it was, very specific, but it was, only specific to Naofumi. It would have been so nice if like he was actually able to stack his barriers like this. And then we have his true art, which is true art is really nice. This is the Iron Maiden that you see. You don't see this animation if you don't get the Iron Maiden or you don't get the feint, let me say. But if you do get the feint, then you see Naofumi, he'll put them in like a ball, and then he'll put them in the Iron Maiden, and then they'll close in on themselves. And this is a team I'm going to be running with them. I just thought, why not throw on the Haruto, throw on the Mako, and then I needed a damage dealer, so I threw on my Irie because I haven't used her in quite a bit. And we're going to take him up against the Crest Pals, and we're also going to be taking up against the Endurance Quest later on. But I want to show him like kind of in like a natural setting first before I take him up against the Endurance Quest, because the Endurance Quest, you can kind of like just use a ton of tanking units, and whenever you do that, it kind of makes it to where, it's not like completely accurate because you're not going to be using like Naofumi, Sandstone, Mako, Haruto in like a legitimate hard fight most of the time because, you don't have a damage dealer, right? But yeah, let's talk about Naofumi. He's a great unit for new players. That's like the main appeal to him, is the fact that he is a tank unit that anybody can get as long as you're playing during the crossover period. However, if you're here when Naofumi is here, then make sure you get him. He's a great unit to have. Not only is he just a free unit, he's also a luck unit, so that's that bonus to him. That makes him really great because, not only are you getting a very solid tank, you're also getting a luck unit, so he's going to be able to help you farm stuff. Of course, it may not be as fast as some of the other things, but, it's still pretty solid. As you see here, let's see if we can actually get the feint to go off real quick. I don't know if we'll be able to. Let's see if he feints, and he didn't feint. That's one of the cons about him right there. If he doesn't get the feint to go off, it's like, bro, really? Like, it's so tragic. Every single time that you do it and the feint doesn't go off, it's so sad. And like I said, that's one of the biggest negatives to him, is the fact that his damage is tied behind a status effect, which, if you guys know status effects in GS, they're not really great to have like actual statuses tied behind your damage, because a lot of the times it's not good for you, unless it's something like Joker Celia, where Joker Celia just needs to freeze you once and then she gets like bonuses based on that. That's fine. But if you need to like stay into a status effect to like get the damage to go off, then it's just not going to be great. Of course, though, as you see here, he's doing his thing. He's tanking at, well, he was tanking. But yeah, he's doing his job. He's great at tanking. Also, look at his HP. Jesus, it's high. I will say this, though. Naofumi is a very high investment unit if you want his full potential. Because if you want his full potential, you need both of his true weapons, which, of course, one of them, as I've mentioned before, you can get just by playing the game and, using rainbow gems on it. By the way, that's limited during the crossover period. So if you don't actually get it during the crossover period, you can't get it again. Like, it's only available during the crossover. But then you also have his other true weapon, True Rage Shield, his heal item. And his heal item is unfortunately tied specifically behind the gacha banner, which means that you're going to have to spend a lot of crystals in order for him to actually get it, which is so bad. It's terrible. It's one of the worst systems I've ever seen. It would be really nice if GS could change that and make it to where it's available in the true weapon shop, because it makes no sense why it's tied specifically behind the gacha equip banner. Either way, though, we can see the damage here. As you see, of course, freaking Irie would be doing the most damage out of everyone. And if Naofumi's not fainting the boss, he doesn't deal damage at all. And I did take him up against the Endurance Quest, which is from the Shield Hero event, and it was okay. He did pretty well in it. He's pretty much survived up until almost 5 minutes, so some good tanking, and this was the team that I used, so it wasn't like Sandstone was on the team. I think if Sandstone was here, he would be able to survive for even longer, but this is about it. I didn't want y'all to see the whole thing, because to be honest, it's not really much. It's just the boss hitting Naofumi, and that's it. So yeah, Naofumi, all in all, great unit. I just wish that his heal true weapon wasn't locked behind the gacha equip summons. If it was locked behind just like the rainbow gem shop, I'd be perfectly fine with it. Either way, though, if you are brand new to the game, I cannot encourage you enough to make sure you go out there and get Naofumi. Get him, use him, max luck him. I'm telling you, he's going to be great for you. However, if you're a little bit older to the game, I think this is another con of him, is he's probably going to get replaced. If you have better options like Thetis or Miranda, you're probably going to be using them in most situations compared to someone like Naofumi. But if you don't have those options, then Naofumi is going to be a great tank for you. And that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all again for coming out. It's been your boy P. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more. If you enjoyed this video, I highly recommend you check out either one of the videos popped up on your screen right now. Great content. Guarantee you'll love them. And oh yeah, before you leave, don't forget to drink water.